right, it is time to spoon. I'm sorry for the wait, but all good things take time. Isn't that right, Jonah?
That is correct.
Are you able to find that link to send to the league chat, Jonah?
Yeah, I just got to find out how to send in there now.
Just gotta copy and paste that sucker.
I can't find the league thing here. I can if I send it to you, could you copy and paste and put it in there?
Yeah, how are you gonna send it to me on Sleeper?
Yeah.
All right.
I can't find the league through there, but I can find you.
Okay. So we will do that. Copy. And let's post that to the league chat. All right. And let me make sure that's working. Yep, I'm pretty sure I can see myself here in a second. All right, let's get into it. We have made people wait way too long. Thank you for joining me this week. Thanks for spooning with me, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for the patience over the last hour.
Yes, sir.
We literally just spent the last hour doing nothing, and I didn't really talk to Jonah because I wanted to save all the energy for the pod. So let's get into it. First, I ask everybody when they come in here, I want to get to know them a little bit, how they feel about their squad. Here we are, State of the Union. This is your first year in the big leagues. I think you have a team in the farm league, but first year, you're 8-2. How you feeling about the squad?
I mean, I think my squad is really good. From a quote from Nick Saban, "Act like you've been there before," and obviously, I have been there before. So I feel good about myself.
When have you been there before, Jonah?
I got me a state championship. So I mean, #1 team in the state.
For baseball?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Was that your junior year?
That was my junior year.
I thought, okay. Well, congratulations on that. This is fantasy football. So championships do not carry over. So you can't say that Michael Jordan has 6 NFL championships. If he went to the NFL, he would have 0 championships. So currently, Jonah, I hate to break it to you, 0 championships. But it's your first year. There's no way you could. So I want to talk to you. I want to get right into it. How you feeling about that trade that you made with Garrett? So that totally changed your team.
Which one are you talking about? I made 3 trades with Garrett so far.
The big one
Oh,
with Gibbs. You know
yeah.
what I'm talking about.
I liked it, honestly. I mean, I got Gibbs and Montgomery I gave him Jalen Waddle, Kenneth Walker, and BTJ's not done much for me this year. So, I mean, it was kind of nice. But, like, he's going to do something eventually. But it was kind of nice to get rid of him.
So you currently have CMC, you have Gibbs and Judkins. So those guys, I mean, they have a really safe floor every
Oh,
week.
yeah.
Even if they dud, a dud to them is probably like, I mean, maybe for Judkins, maybe 10 points. But he's a solid flex option, and he's only going to get better, I think.
And I got
But
overhand kicks, too.
yes, you do. But having 3 different star running backs, you have 3 handcuffs that you cannot play, and your wide receiver depth. I believe you currently have Keenan Allen. Garrett Wilson's your dog. He's your number 1. And then you have guys like Trey Tucker and like guys like that. So um, would you have wished that you didn't give us as much receiver depth? Because I think Garrett still would have done that deal if you finagled a little bit more. Or are you looking to make some more moves?
Eventually, getting Garrett Wilson off the team would be ideal. But I would need 2 receivers because it's not like he's a bag of chips. Garrett Wilson is the number 5 receiver in fantasy currently. So
Okay. Yeah, and I guess you could argue. I mean, Garrett Wilson's one of those guys. Doesn't have a like insane ceiling. Like Puka Nakua, Jamar Chase, they could drop 60 literally.
yeah.
Garrett Wilson, he might give you 20 a week. He's a consistent, and that's not nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you could get a good return from that. So, and you don't need a running back. So, yeah, I think maybe even doing a deal with Jake in the future might work out. I know he has some love for Garrett. All right. So, go moving forward. Is that your favorite move of the year? I like to ask people, what's your favorite move? Like pickup, waiver wire pickup, trade. Is that your favorite trade of the year, or is there another one?
The trade I made at the beginning of the year was with Josh and Garrett.
Oh,
That was my
that's
getting
true.
Garrett Wilson onto the team.
Yeah, yeah. No, that kind of kickstarted everything.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of fleeced right there.
Oh
You
yeah,
got rid of because Worthy would have been on your team, and he wouldn't have played for the first 3 weeks. So that really changed everything. Um, all right. What Cheney? Okay, so Jake told me this. Ask you this. You told me pre-show that you had no idea about this Cheney's team name. He told me to ask you. Do you have any kind of like idea of what his team name could be? The Chinese buffet.
I mean, I couldn't really tell you what it means at all, other than the fact that Cheney eats a lot. I mean, that's the only thing I could come up with.
Oh gosh! See, we just walked into the Mossad's trap. That is what he wanted us to do. He knew that you didn't know. He just wanted you to say that's awful. But I just figured he really liked Yi Cuisine. I'm pretty sure I've been to Yi Cuisine with Cheney at least once, so I just figured he really likes Chinese food.
I'm not.
I guess Jake won't tell me. If I text him and ask him about it, he'll say, "If you know, you know." So, I mean, I do this podcast every week. I'm terrible at obviously getting the stream to work, but I do this podcast faithfully every week. I think I deserve to know the real story. So maybe I can get that out of Cheney next time he comes on. But yeah, no, thanks for sharing all that about your squad. I personally think you gave up a lot of wide receiver depth, but I mean, with Garrett Wilson still on the team, I don't. We'll get into that later because we have a lot to get into. But you're definitely a scary team with those three running backs. We're going to go over trades and acquisitions now.
Yes,
This was a
sir.
huge week. This was Jonah probably the biggest week we've ever had for trades, and I can't speak for the league history as a whole, but and you can't either because you obviously this is your first year in the big leagues, but I just feel like there was a trade happening almost like every day or every other day, and they
Yeah.
happened in like waves. So what I'm going to do, Jonah, is I'm going to go through each one, and when you're spooning with me, I'm the little spoon, right? You're the big spoon. You're probably like 7 or 8 inches taller than me, if I had to guess. Maybe not that much, but probably close. So you're the big spoon today. So if I have all the transactions, trade. We're going to go over trades first, and then we're going to go over acquisitions. So just like waiver ads, stuff like that. If I go over one and you want to jump in and say something, feel free to cut me off.
All right.
Mechie's Mulligans and Blanton's Bombers. We have Lad McConkey, Wandale Robinson, and Bayshell Tootin for Patrick's Kyron and Ridley. So really the big name that sticks out here is Kyron Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you thought about this trade, Jonah, but I personally think and this is probably a dramatic thing to say, but it was definitely a good trade for both sides because
Oh yeah.
Patrick lost Malik Neighbors. But correct me if you're thinking what I'm thinking. I think this saved Adam's season. He didn't have a running back too.
I think we lost Nick. Where did he go?
All right.
Are you back?
Gosh,
All right. There
I
you
think
go.
that ruined everything.
We only got one
I
viewer.
think I think that might have ruined everything.
Okay.
Jonah, are we
Are
still
you there?
live?
Yeah.
Is
No,
it
we're
still
still
live?
live. We're
All
still
right.
live.
So everybody right now, go into the chat and blast the commissioner for interrupting the podcast. That's unacceptable. Um, I don't care if you're the Mossad, and you kill me afterwards for saying this, but everybody go blast him for interrupting our flow. But I will say, I think that trade saved Adam's season because he was rolling out Nick Chubb, Isaiah Pacheco, and it really almost made him unbeatable. He definitely has some wide receiver questions, especially with Jamar Chase, but we'll get into that. What do you think about that? Because that's a big deal.
Lad McConkey, that's the name that sticks out the most for me. He's not had a great season so far,
Right.
but eventually a guy like Keenan Allen's not going to be able to produce as much as he's producing for that team so far. So Lad's going to have to step up eventually.
I think last week Lad had a good game. He had a few catches, he had a touchdown, he had 14 fantasy points. Yeah, I think Lad's gonna be okay. I don't think he's gonna have a high ceiling because there's too many mouths to feed. But I think Kyron is really the big name there, in my opinion. All right, now we have the Jokers and Little Spoon. Myself, I traded Marvin Harris, or Garrett traded Marvin Harrison Jr. I traded him the struggling Chase Brown. Um, to me, Chase Brown was just killing me.
Yeah.
It was a no brainer to me. I think Marv got a little bit of that dog in him. That game that he like wept in the end zone after catching a ball. Which who cries after they catch a touchdown? Like you're a professional wide receiver. I mean, he was really. I like Marv. It's just like, bro, like just keep that dog and you quit being a kitty cat and go out there and catch a ball. So a bum for a bum, really. But yeah, I think Chase Brown was just hurting me too bad. And then we have another trade. We have a lot of trades to go through. We'll roll through them. Jokers and the handcuff haters. Addison for Diggs. And that trade's looking good for Garrett so far. Diggs looks like he's being heavily targeted in New England. Like I said, cut me off at any time. You want to jump in? We have the Chinese buffet and myself. Stupid little trade. I got Jaden Higgins, and he got Sean Tucker and Torrey Horton, and has already dropped both of them. So I basically got a player from Cheney
For free.
for nothing.
Yeah.
Yes. Which I just see Higgins as a late season bloomer. I think the Texans, they need another guy to step up, and after the bye week, rookies tend to get more involved. Okay, then we have our big bad commish. We have the Mossad and the Chinese buffet. Vikings defense for $50 a fab to Cheney. I don't get that at all. If you look at the matchups, the Vikings, they're not playing cupcake teams after this. Jake was playing them when they were playing terrible teams and putting up big points. And he basically robbed Cheney for $50 a fab. And just to sit on Cheney's bench because they have a bye week. So then we have Josh's team, the rollbacks, and Randy's nuts. So I like this trade for Josh. Josh got Travis Hunter, and he sent out Kareem Hunt and Josh Downs. What do you think about this one?
Travis Hunter is definitely going to be so the Jags offense is nothing special right now. Travis Hunter is going to have to step up in that offense eventually later in this year. So I feel like for the playoffs, that's perfect for Josh, if he can make it, though.
Yeah, and I mean, we already saw last game, Travis Hunter got more involved. I wish I thought to do a trade like this with Randy. I don't think Randy should have given up Travis Hunter. I know he's been underproducing, but just like you said, if Josh's team gets it together, that could be a great move for later in the season. And then we have my team again, and we have Zach's team. So this was a big trade. I mean, for me at least. I traded Devontae Adams and Woody Marks, and I got Rome Odunze. And immediately the league chat blew up. I think Cheney said something of the magnitude of, this league is no longer drunk, it is retarded. I'm guessing he said that because he felt like I gave Zach a lot. But
I think I agree with Cheney.
You agree with that? Okay.
I think he might have gave a little too much. Devontae Adams has been eating all year.
But here's the thing, man. He gets all his targets in the fourth quarter, and if he doesn't score a touchdown, other than last game, after I traded him, he still had like 13 fantasy points without scoring a touchdown. But all of his fantasy relevancy has come from scoring a touchdown or two. And I think Rome Odunze is an alpha. I wanted an alpha who can put up 30 to 40 points. And here's the deal. I definitely overpaid. I wanted to get my guy. And you have to overpay sometimes, Jonah, especially with a guy like Zach, who he'll just stop talking to you if he doesn't like what you're asking. If he doesn't like what you're saying, he'll stop talking to you. So if I wanted Rome, I had to slightly overpay. And this was less of an overpay of what he was trying to get for Rome like weeks ago. So to me, it was like it made more sense for my team. And sometimes I think it's okay to overpay if it makes your team better. And I thought that it made my team better because I had the running backs and stuff to support it. And what did Woody Marks go and do? He scored 2 points and was in a committee behind Nick Chubb the week after I traded him. So, I mean, what do you think about that?
That part, I still think Devontae Adams is putting up 13 points without touchdowns is good. But if you wanted the alpha like Romo Dunze, then I mean you got him. There's no
For
doubt
sure.
about that.
And then I did another trade. I did it simultaneously. So I had a trade with Garrett lined up at the same time as this for Kenneth Gainwell. Since I was sending a running back out, I wanted a handcuff for Jalen Warren.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that trade lined up at the same time so I could accept them simultaneously so that I had something if Jalen Warren were to go down later. Okay, now we have the Jokers. This is insane. There's so many trades. We have the Jokers and Cougar catchers. We talked about this a little bit. Gibbs and Monty for BTJ, Waddle, and K9. When I see that on the paper here, Jonah, it just seems like a lot. It seems like you gave him a lot for those two running backs. But like you said, I mean, it's kind of a similar situation as what I just talked about with my team. You went and got your guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
you went and got your guys, and I think your team might be better for it. Like, I don't want to face your team. I mean,
You got me one more time this year, so
I do. I do. Hopefully, my team quits. My team's just so inconsistent. I mean, it's every other week. I have a good week, then I have a down week, good week, down week. So hopefully, they can get a little more consistency. I need to build up the locker room depth, so I might add like Tim Tebow or like Tom Brady to the. Tom Brady might not be good. He might yell at everybody, and you don't want that. Um, I might add someone like that to the bench to help the locker room though. All right, now we have Chinese buffet and the handcuff haters. This was a pretty big trade too. We have Josh Jacobs and Jerry Booty because he sucks at football for AJ Brown and Addison. So I don't know what you think about this. This trade, it like
I think it helps out both teams.
I think it definitely help. Oh, it definitely helps out both teams. But trying to come up with an analogy. So my favorite drink, like non-alcoholic, is an Arnold Palmer, sweet
Mm-hmm.
tea and lemonade mixed. When I saw this trade go across the screen, it felt like it was a hot summer day, and I had an ice cold Arnold Palmer, like not from the store, like homemade, and I
Yeah.
was sipping it, but I also crapped my pants, diarrhea, really bad at the same time. So it's like, because you see a name like this and you see Josh Jacobs, okay,
Yeah.
dog. Okay, you see AJ Brown. You want to say dog, but he's in a terrible situation. So it's like this mixed, bittersweet feeling. I mean, with Cheney, now that Cheney has AJ Brown, he's definitely going to go off. Cheney somehow makes things work, and he faces me this week, so AJ Brown's going to smash. But rest of the season, I don't believe in AJ Brown. I think the cryptic tweets and the vibes are not good. But Jordan Addison is no slouch whenever he can play on the field and isn't being disciplined. And he was sat out the whole first quarter last game due to disciplinary reasons. So, um, but Josh Jacobs is the biggest dog in this. If it was my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all right, we're almost through these trades, man. Now we have the Mossad and the Jokers. We have Derrick Henry, Keaton Mitchell, Jawan Johnson to Garrett for Kenneth Walker and DJ Moore. So, what were your thoughts about this?
I like this trade more for Jake than I do for Garrett. Honestly, I don't. I
Yeah,
don't. I don't like Derrick Henry that much, to be honest.
for real.
I'm not a fan. No, I
You
mean I
wanted
think
him at one point.
I was talking about getting him until the Ravens just don't hand him the ball off.
No, for and he had that one good week. He
Mhm.
had that 31 fantasy points week one. Then he had zero. He had like 0.9 points the second week, and then people are like, "Ah, it's Derrick Henry. He'll be fine." Well, he hasn't been fine.
Mm-mm.
Well, the Ravens suck. They're not playing from ahead. So
Mm-mm.
when you're playing from behind and you're a running back, you're not going to get the volume. He's not breaking tackles if you watch him play. Usually, I mean, Derrick Henry's just shedding people left and right. He is getting hit pretty soon, like at the line of scrimmage, but he's not shedding tackles. I think this is just his drop off year. And the Mossad said that I was crazy. He talked to me about possibly sending Derrick Henry for Ashton Genty, and this was before Ashton Genty exploded. And I told Jake, I said I would not do them straight up because he was trying to get Ashton Genty and someone else for Derrick Henry, and he said that's wild. He thought I was crazy. But if you look at things now, would you rather have Ashton Genty or Derrick Henry?
Ashton Genty.
Absolutely,
Easily.
absolutely.
He tried to do the
Um,
same thing to me for Judkins, and I would choose Judkins over him, honestly.
yeah, and like Judkins and Genty are rookies, so like they're not gonna like. It took Genty a while to break out, right? I mean, it didn't really take Judkins that long, honestly.
Mm-mm.
He stepped on the field and was like, "I'm here,
Yeah.
I'm him." But but no, for sure. I think Derrick Henry's 31, 32 years old. So he goes to Garrett. I think Derrick Henry has one more game against the Rams this week, which is a tough defense. They're going to be playing. The Ravens are going to be playing from behind. I think Derrick Henry's going to get stuffed again, and then they go on a bye week. So Garrett gets Derrick Henry against a bad matchup, and then Derrick Henry goes on a bye week and he can't even play him. So I do say this is a better trade for Jake, and he does get DJ Moore on the bench, and if DJ Moore gets traded, that's huge for Jake. So I think I'd like the trade for Jake Moore, but I can see Garrett trying to get a dog like Derrick Henry. Like, I mean, we can't for sure say that Derrick Henry's washed up um, yet, but I know Garrett as a Titans fan, and I get it. I get it being a Steelers fan. Sometimes you just want to get your guys there. Um, all right, we have last two. We have the Jokers and Cheney. This is what I don't get. Mike Evans for Jaden Daniels. I know Mike Evans is that dude, but like, how did Garrett also get $50 a fab out of this?
I have no idea.
Because Mike Evans is like basically on IR. They haven't
Yeah.
placed him on IR, but we don't know if he's coming back in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And Cheney sent off Jaden Daniels.
Mhm.
I like Cheney. Cheney has done a lot of good things with his team. He's really rounded out his wide receiver room. I'm just saying now Cheney's starting quarterback is Daniel Jones, which Daniel Jones is a great fantasy quarterback. He's going to give you a consistent floor, and sometimes he's going to have 20, 25, maybe even 30 points a week or two out of the season. But I would rather face Daniel Jones than Jaden Daniels, but I'm facing him this week, so Daniel Jones will probably have 50. So, all right, last trade here. I just traded this morning after waivers hit. I traded JMO for Mason Taylor. I mean, just off the cuff, what was your reaction to that? Like, whatever, or like, who
Yeah, just
cares?
whatever.
Who
JMO is a
cares?
guy. He's either going to go off or he's not. There's no in between.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And Mason Taylor's a rookie. I mean, he's had two good games and a really good game this last week. What I really liked is he got like 12 targets this last week,
Mm-hmm.
um, and he had 22 fantasy points, and he hasn't scored a touchdown yet. So if you add a touchdown to that, I think he could be a really good play. And I needed to take a swing. JMO is killing me on my. I mean, because you don't want to not play him, like
Yeah,
because
you got to
he
play
could
him.
he could go crazy. So I don't want to be faced with that decision each week. So I'm a little weaker, and I wouldn't even say weaker. I'm a little less depth um, abundant at wide receiver. But so I
Mm-hmm.
went to the waiver wire, and I hope Mason pans out. All right, acquisitions. We'll go through this real quick. Mechie's Mulligans, Darren Waller. All right, that's looking good. He picked him up for $139 a fab. Randy's Nuts picked up Matt Stafford, and then Matt Stafford attacked me and almost beat me last week. But he didn't attack me as bad as Mark Sanchez attacked that dude in Indianapolis. Um, we got the Chinese buffet. This is a really good move by Cheney. Everyone's going after DeMarcado. Cheney just is probably in Mississippi somewhere, and he's probably I don't know, going through reels or something, and then he goes to the sleeper app and he picks up Michael Carter. puts up 18 points for him this week. He's going to be the starter going forward without Benson starting in Arizona. So that was a really good move, savvy move by Chaney that allowed him to trade Josh Jacobs after. Then we have the Jokers. He picked up Mason Taylor. We talked about that before the game, and then he went off. And then Garrett picked up today Hassan Haskins, who could be the starter for the Chargers. He picked him up for 70 fab. So Garrett's looking kind of depth abundant at running back.
Mm-hmm.
Jake picked up Theo Johnson, tight end. Looks like he's flashing in New York. Zach picked up Flournoy, this weird wide receiver from Dallas who had a good game this week. So we'll see how he does. I picked up Isaiah Bond. Randy picked up AJ Barner, the tight end that's flashing in Seattle. Josh picked up Kamani Valdell. Kamani Valdell is he could get some touches in LA with Marion Hampton out. And then I went and picked up Kyle Monungai, which I don't know. I might keep him, see if he takes Swift's job. I think he will take Swift's job. I don't know how much you're monitoring like backup situations or DeAndre Swift, but yeah, I think Monungai could take Swift's job, and I'd like to have him on my roster. But Chaney, if you're listening, I'm open to a deal. I'm looking for a wide receiver, a bench, a wide receiver 3-4 type guy. So let me know because he's probably going to take Swift's job. All right, matchup recap. I just want to hand out, this is the only thing I'll say about this. Every week, Jonah, I hand out what's called the Silver Spoon Award. I don't know if you've been listening, right? What's the Silver Spoon Award? I'm going to test you.
It's like the best player kind of thing.
Nope, you are not listening very closely. The Silver Spoon Award is given to a team who barely escapes with a win and shouldn't have won. Or maybe not. Maybe the word shouldn't have. This week it's Jake. Jake won by 0.4 fantasy points. He is given the silver spoon because he didn't start a defense. And what a cocky, arrogant move to face a team and not even play a defense against them because you are so confident that your squad's going to win. And he beat Zach's team by 0.4 fantasy points. Travis Kelce almost did it, though. He almost beat Jake. Almost doesn't count, though, right?
It doesn't.
All right, some notable injuries this week. Marion Hampton went to IR. This is for Kyle's team. Marion Hampton and Ricky Pearsall. Looks like Pearsall's not going to play. Kyle's looking very thin at the wide receiver position right now. And thankfully, he got Josh Jacobs to replace Hampton. Trey Benson, obviously, Chuba, and Chuba is currently injured, but Josh has Rico Dowdle. But Josh also has Rashee Rice coming back next week. Should be lit. I think Rashee is going to be great. But Josh, what do you think about Josh having two Kansas City wide receivers? Do you think he's going to move one of them?
I mean, he has to eventually, right? He can't play both of them.
We're going to get into Josh's team, and because Josh helped us so much with this stream, we're going to take it fairly easy on Josh's team. But this Spoonin' podcast, Jonah, is a podcast of truth. We don't sugarcoat things. We just say them how they are. So I think Josh is going to have to make a move this week if he's going to want to salvage some things. Because he has two players on bye weeks. He has Jefferson and Nico on bye. Joe Flacco was traded to the Bengals. What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, I see Jamar Chase ceilings going up now instead of having some bump thrown to him. You got 40-year-old Joe Flacco now.
That's right. So you think that significantly helps things?
I mean, not significantly, but definitely a little. It has to help him more than what he had.
No, I mean, Jake Browning was just a liability, and that's being kind. Man, that man was throwing 3 interceptions a game.
That's terrible.
Bro, you could probably do better.
I think I could.
You'd probably check down a lot. I mean, you're not an NFL quarterback, but you're tall. You could probably move around. Like, what would you do? Would you just check it down to Chase Brown? Is that what you would do?
I would just throw it up to Jamar Chase.
You would just sling it?
Just sling it every time.
How far do you think you can throw a football?
35 yards.
35?
I think I can do 35.
That's not too bad. I mean, if you could just keep throwing 35-yard passes to Jamar Chase, I mean, he can do the rest.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we went over the Silver Spoon Award. The Mossad is the winner of that. Trade block. All right, Jonah, let's go to the trade block. We go right here. All right, we had a few ads. How about you go to the trade block and tell it? Okay, here it is.
Who can he keep?
Tyler Loop has been added to the trade block. Kicker for Baltimore. Jake would do that.
Mhm.
AJ Brown, he just acquired by Cheney. Cheney drafted him, by the way, and now has him back, and wants to trade him apparently again. He's like the crazy girlfriend that you just don't want to keep. Woody Marks is on the trade block by Zach. Zach also has Mark Andrews on the trade block. He also has the San Francisco defense on the trade block. Kyle has Alvin Kamara. You have Quinshon Judkins. Cheney has DeAndre Swift and Michael Carter on the trade block. He's looking to trade some of his running backs. I bet he's trying to get a 2-for-1 there. And then Josh has his 2 bye week wide receivers. He's trying to trade 2. I've heard rumblings, Jonah, that Josh is trying to trade people while they're on their bye week. Is that true?
I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be true. I mean, he's got 2 people on his bye week up right now.
Do you think when he starts those trade negotiations that he starts the message out saying, "Hey, do you want a bye week wide receiver?" Or do you think he just doesn't say anything?
I just
He
think he
just
just
hopes
does
they
that.
don't know.
I mean, he sent me one earlier and just went straight at it.
He didn't say like, "Oh, hey, look out, these guys are on a bye week."
He just straight up sent it to me.
Yeah. I would too. I mean, I wouldn't tell you they're on a bye week, but just so everyone knows, Jefferson and Nico are on a bye week. So if you get them, you cannot play them this week.
Yeah, if I was Kyle, I'd watch out because he's talking about something.
Oh yeah, Kyle knows now. And then Kyle has the injured, but maybe returning soon, George Kittle on the trade block, and he still has Puka. I do think Kyle is serious about trading Puka. He has voiced his opinion on this. I think he's serious about it, but he's not going to trade him for nothing. Puka is currently the wide receiver 1. I think this is a good time, Jonah. Let's look through the league chat, see what's being said. So, I think this is Jake. He says, I don't know if you can see the league chat or not. He says, who would win? Are you able to see this?
I cannot.
So he says, who would win in a 2-mile relay race? Cheney and I, with a perfect situation, or the 2 of you after fighting a group of African Americans because Nick Swisher said ninja at an inopportune time.
How many is there?
How many
African Americans?
Oh, that's a good question. First of all, I regret that statement. I want to apologize to the American public. That was immoral.
Is this a true story?
And insubordinate. Oh, it's a true story. Jake and I highly regret it. It was just a reaction. I would have said it to anybody. I would have said it to a white man. But we were at summer workouts. We were doing football workouts because we were on the baseball team. And I was doing like some kind of sprint drill. And Charles Clay, one of the star football players on our team, he pushed me as I was finishing my run. And I said what Jake said in the chat. And then he said, "What'd you say?" And then Jake comes back and says, "He said ninja." And then first of all, I really regret that. I had a terrible language back then, and Jesus has changed me greatly. But Jake really saved my butt that day. Jake, if he did not come in and say that, Jake saved my butt on several occasions, Jonah. Right there, we got pulled over one time right after I joined the Army. And we were actively trying to evade a police officer, and we pulled into a used car lot. And to avoid this cop coming after us, he was following us for some reason. We don't know why. I pulled into a used car lot, turned off my lights, and pretended like I was one of the cars for sale. And the cop car pulls right up to us, starts asking us questions, and then Jake's like, "He's in the Army." And then the cop apparently was in the National Guard, so we started hitting it off. But Jake, if you're watching this, you're a real one. You've saved my butt several times. But that is the league chat. That's the only thing
I
going
think we got
on.
him. I think we're gonna beat him.
You think we'll? Okay, yeah. I forgot to even answer the question. I think you got to look at things. I'm a pretty fast guy.
I'm fast too.
I'm pretty fast. Yeah, I believe you. I don't. Then again, if there is a group of people after us while we're doing this, see, there's no resistance on Cheney and Jake's side. It's just them.
But
there are
how long is it gonna take Jake and Cheney to run 2 miles?
It depends what the demographic. Are these people athletes chasing after us, or are they just like common everyday people? Because if they're just common everyday people, I say you and I win.
Mm-hmm.
But because if they're like out of shape, then we can beat them. But if they're like NFL players, we're done. We're done.
Miles Garrett.
Aaron Donald, yeah, Aaron Donald, Miles Garrett, yeah. Cheney and Jake win that. So I need more context, guys. That's for sure. All right, we talked about this a little bit. Notable bye weeks this week. We have the Texans, Nico Collins, Woody Marks for Zach's team. We have the Texans defense for your team. So are you going to keep rostering the Texans defense even though they're on a bye?
I will continue to roster him this week. I don't know if I'll start a defense yet or not. Just it depends on how Sunday goes.
That's a bold move, brother. You're taking notes from the Mossad.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
If I can pull out one win this week, I'll be happy.
I hate to say it. If you don't start somebody, I hope you lose. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, not just you. But if you're going to be that cocky, I hope you lose. Because there's little guys like me that would love to win and are not going to leave an empty spot. So, yeah. Vikings, Jefferson, Josh's team. Jordan Mason, Zach's team. Hawkinson, your team. Addison, Cheney's team. All on a bye week. Cannot play them. All right. Jonah, I don't know if you're able to see this on the Google Doc I sent you over before the pod started. Can you still hear me good?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Cool. We have a new segment called Keep It Open and Close It Out. And I've identified a little bit more than 3 players because when I was getting into it, I got a little carried away. I identified players that have not been performing the way you want them to. And is it time to keep it open, meaning keep the tab open and you keep getting drinks, or close it out? Like, I'm done with this player. So how I did this, it's not just a general, like your normal fantasy podcast where I just throw out general players. These players, the decision that I made for keep it open and close it out is the context of if you're listening, it's for the context of your specific team and your roster. So if you have a player who's underperforming, but the rest of your roster is stacked at that position, you may want to keep that open because you can afford to do that. But if your team's in a position where you're lacking in a certain position and you have a player that's underperforming, it may be time to move on from that player and make your team better. Like Jamo Williams, he's probably going to go off for Garrett the next 2 games because I traded him. But I think it makes my team better because I was really struggling at tight end. So that's just the context. So the first 2 players I want to talk about. Actually, I'm going to list 3 players I'm going to say keep it open, and they're all on the same NFL team, Jonah. I say, and this is because of the Joe Flacco trade, I say keep it open for Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Chase Brown. And the reason I say keep it open is because I'm just keeping the tab open because I want to see how this next week goes. It doesn't mean I don't close it out next week. But I'm not closing it yet. I'm not closing the door yet. You agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Joe Flacco with those kind of weapons could be deadly.
Un momento. I'm just going to grab this real quick. I wouldn't use the word deadly. I would say serviceable. I would say you're going to get a healthy floor. You're not going to get like 3 fantasy points like you were with Jake Browning. And I do think this helps Garrett in a big sense with Chase Brown, because if you have a quarterback like Joe Flacco, where now you have to account for the downfield passes, teams are not going to stack the box as much for Chase Brown. Because they had to sell out to stop the run because that's the only thing that they could probably do because they knew they had a quarterback that couldn't pass it. Now I think this actually benefits Chase Brown the most. So I think that's good for Garrett. And Jamar Chase is obviously on Adam's team. I would I would keep it open for Adam's team because Adam's team has the depth. But if Jamar Chase was on any other team, I might considering selling high, as Jamar had a big performance in garbage time. He scored like all his points in the fourth quarter because they were behind. But I keep it open for Jamar Chase and Zach's team, T. Higgins, because when teams double team Jamar Chase, T. Higgins is going to be wide open. All right. The next player, Jonah, I have is A.J. Brown. I'm saying keep it open because I think the schedule's lightening up for A.J. Brown. What do you think about that?
The Eagles are too much of a run team to roster an Eagles wide receiver. I mean, they got 2 dogs in their team, but I don't know if I'd want either one of them.
So you would close it out on A.J. Brown?
I would, yeah.
You're
Easily.
done. You're done.
I'm done with him.
So entering the season, A.J. Brown was seen as a wide receiver one. What do you see him as now? Like a risky flex play?
Yeah. I mean, A.J. Brown's either going to produce or not produce. We've been seeing that all year so far.
So he's like Jameson Williams, kind of.
Basically, yeah. Not as good though.
Well,
I would say JMO ceiling's higher for.
oh yeah, that's where we disagree. I think AJ Brown's definitely better than JMO, and he's still in a better situation than JMO. At least AJ Brown's supposedly the number one option on his team. JMO's like the third option because you have Gibbs is getting more targets, Amon Ra's getting more targets. So I still think AJ Brown's I think he's better than JMO, but yeah, I say keep it open just because he's on Cheney's team, and that's why I say keep it open for AJ Brown. If he was on my team, I'd say close it out.
Is it? Yeah.
But Cheney was really struggling at wide receiver. This trade really helped him. He was rolling out Elick, Io Manor. He was rolling out Jerry Jeudy, and now he has AJ Brown. And now he has. I mean, he's always had Michael Pittman, but his starting lineup for wide receivers is Amon Ra, AJ Brown, and Michael Pittman. So I think it's good for Cheney's team context. So that's why I say keep it open. Next guy is Tet McMillan. I think Tet McMillan's going to break out soon. He's a rookie who he's really only posted modest numbers, but I think he's bound for a breakout. And also Lad McConkey. I think you should keep it open, especially with all the running backs going down in LA. I think, and the offensive line is falling apart in LA. Jonah, I don't know if you've seen that. They've had like 2 big starting tackles go down for extended lengths and periods of time.
Yeah.
So Justin Herbert's going to have to get the ball out quick, and who's going to be there? Lad McConkey.
I hope Keenan Allen, honestly.
Well, I know you do, but this got to be unbiased on this show. I try to be unbiased as much as possible. I just try to deal it how it is. All right, for close it out, you guys are going to hear this. Kyle's team, I'm closing it out on Alvin Kamara. I think I've seen enough. He doesn't have the ceiling anymore. I'm not going to pretend like I went back and checked all the film, but all the numbers show that Alvin Kamara just doesn't have even what he had last year. Alvin Kamara was a top running back last year, and now we see Kendre Miller almost working his way to a 50-50 split. He might take over that job. What do you think about that? Because
I think Alvin
are
Kamara.
you a Saints fan?
I'm not. No, not a
I
Saints.
wasn't sure.
No, I think Alvin
Who is your
Kamara
team?
is just in a bad position. Honestly, that's his problem.
You said what?
He's in a bad position. Like the Saints are just not a good franchise to be on right now.
I think that, and he's getting older, and you have Kendre Miller taking touches from him. So I think for Kyle's team context, I think this leads us into the Puka trade. I think Alvin Kamara's numbers are going to go down a little bit more. I don't think he's going to have a safe floor. I think he's going to probably be around 7 to 8 fantasy points a game if Kendre ends up taking his job. So then that's when we talk about with Kyle's injuries. He has Ricky Pearsall injured. He has O'Marion Hampton injured. And then he has Alvin Kamara who could lose his starting job. I think Kyle, I think he should make a Puka trade where he gets a good haul in return and he gets a running back and a receiver to at least make up for this production that he's losing because his wide receiver core is just struggling with injuries and stuff like that. So, all right, next, I think Nico Collins. I'm closing it out, and I'm closing it out for what you spent on Nico. You spent an early second round, if you're Josh, on Nico Collins. He's on a bye week this week, Jonah. What do you think about Josh? With Jefferson and Nico on a bye team, on a bye week, don't you think it's important with? And I'm not going to pretend like Josh's team is trash. It's not trash, but his record is 2-8, and I know he knows that. But don't you think this is the time that you can't really afford a bye week with your two main guys
No,
down?
especially with the three games he's got coming up after this, because he's got Cheney, Jake, and Adam right after this.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I have the schedule right here.
Oh,
I'm just gonna
bro,
write it down.
hey, that was a clutch one, Jonah. I'm glad you had that pulled up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's got the hardest 3 games after this. So
Well, that changes my attitude from urgent to absolutely a necessity. Like
yeah,
he
you got
needs,
to go 2-0 this week.
yeah, I think he needs. Which one, do you think he should get rid of both or just one? Or
If
because
he
at this
got rid of
point,
both, his team could be really good.
well, at this point, what are you going to get from Nico Collins? Nico Collins has, I think Devontae Adams has had better numbers than Nico Collins, and it's not Nico Collins' fault. I think that's what Josh has to look at. This is what I offered Josh last week, and I wasn't sure if I'd do it even. I just threw it out there. Egbuka and Travion Henderson for Nico and Cam Scadaboo, which to me, you have to look. You can't just look at the name Nico Collins and Mika Egbuka. I know Egbuka's a rookie. Egbuka's on a better team with a better quarterback. Baker Mayfield is the MVP. CJ Stroud has not looked good since his rookie season. He's not dealing the rock the way that he used to. Therefore, Nico Collins isn't going to have as much production. I think Nico's a dog. It doesn't mean he's not a good player. It just means I think Josh needs to look at the landscape and Sorry
I
about
think
that,
your
y'all.
microphone.
Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, no.
All right. I think he needs to look at the context of what's going on in the NFL and make a deal, even if it's not sexy, that helps his team. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think he does need to get rid of Jefferson and Nico. If he goes 2-0 this week, he's got a fighting chance because his next 3 weeks are just it's rough. And if he's going to sneak into the playoffs and get a guy like Travis Hunter for the playoffs, you got to make it there.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's the biggest thing is you can't just look at your team and be like, yeah, I'll squeak into the playoffs. Like this is a week to week league. You have to win. You have to win now. Like if you're Jake's team, you can start looking at the playoffs a little bit, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I would agree with you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think Jake can look in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to look at your team context. Right now, I'm 5-5, Jonah. My team's been good one week, kind of. I mean, not terrible, but not good the next week. I'm not a team who can look at things and be like, huh, you know what? I'm looking at the playoffs. I want to make sure I'd be able to compete in the playoffs, but I can't look at the playoffs like it's for certainty. And I think Josh is very much in the same circumstance. But the next player I'm going to close it out on, 2 players actually. It's unfortunately Garrett's team. I'm closing it out on Derrick Henry and Brock Bowers. I think I've seen enough for Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, we talked about, has a really bad matchup this week, and then he goes on a bye week. Garrett's 4-6. I think Garrett has a solid squad after all the acquisitions he's been able to make. We'll be able to see that in the power ranking segment. But then Brock Bowers is doing nothing for you while he's hurt. These are 2 players, Jonah, that I think Garrett should really look at and try to sell for name value and cut his losses. I know he just got Derrick Henry. He's probably not going to do that. But I know it's really hard to do pride-wise. And he took Brock Bowers, I think, in the 2nd round, right?
Yeah, it was 2nd round.
What do you like? Do you agree? Sometimes you have to cut your losses and get what you can so that it doesn't continue to hurt you.
Yeah, no, Garrett definitely. I mean, Garrett just got a haul from me though, so I think Garrett's team's good. He can play around with Derrick Henry a little bit, but I think Keaton Mitchell's gonna eventually take Derrick Henry's spot, especially with that check down pass.
That's crazy. That'd be crazy. Jake has been stashing Keaton Mitchell for like 2 years. Like he grabs him like I don't know what he did last year with him.
Was Keaton Mitchell not involved in that trade?
Yeah, he was. Wait,
Yeah.
he had to have been. Yeah. But I don't think Keaton just straight up takes his job. I bet he just starts. I don't think he's going to take Derrick Henry's job. I think they're going to keep giving it to Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry's going to. And it's not all Derrick Henry's fault. They're playing from behind. And
The
then,
Ravens aren't running the ball. That's the problem. So Keaton Mitchell's going to start getting more and more snaps.
yeah, I think Brock Bowers. I think he should try to trade Brock Bowers maybe to a contending team and try to get some production now, whether from a wide receiver or a running back. But those are just my opinions. And Cheney said Keaton Mitchell sucks. I love that. I love that. I haven't watched much of. I've seen a few highlights from whenever I think his rookie year before he tore his ACL. Dude is lightning fast.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he's looks like he could have been a track star or something.
I
But
think he was a track star actually.
that sounds about right. He looks like he's around that I don't know if you remember that player from back in the day for the Chiefs, Jamal Charles. Do you remember him?
I do not.
Okay, yeah, you're a little young, but some people watching this will remember him. He was a converted track star who just basically came to the NFL, and he was a running back for the Chiefs, and he was an animal. Um, Several Pro Bowls, I think all pros, but Keaton Mitchell kind of reminds me of that. Unfortunately, he tore his ACL and is in a committee, not even a committee, he's behind Derrick Henry and possibly Justice Hill. But all right, that is the keep it open, close it out section. I'd love to hear what everybody thinks about this, either in the live chat or after the podcast. Oh, Jake's coming. Keaton is elite. We all have our guys. All right, Jonah, people are watching, so we have to keep this rolling. We're going to go into the power rankings. Okay. So you said before the show you kind of like how I have it set up. Personally, I just looked at everything, and I want to preface this. So anybody who's looking at the power rankings, this is the power rankings for week 6. This does not mean rest of season. So I've accounted for players who are on bye weeks this week, players who might be injured. This is not indicative of your overall squad, but it is kind of indicative of your current record just a little bit and how you're going to look the next week or two. So my power rankings. Did you have a list of power rankings, Jonah?
I did not get a list of power rankings.
Okay, I'm just talking a lot, so I just wanted to maybe shift to you if you had some.
I do not, but I will comment on your power rankings after this.
Cool. All right, let's hear them. All right, so we got number 1. Actually, let's count down from number 12. All right, make it a little more interesting. Number 12, unfortunately, we have Randy's nuts, which we're going to get to when we go into the matchup preview. Randy's nuts. I think we might be in store for maybe a win or two coming up, but I mean, after the fire sales, I mean, he's a self-proclaimed dumpster fire. He says it himself. I actually like some of Randy's players. He is number 12. There's no getting around it. Number 11, Blanton's Bombers. So this takes into account the Malik Neighbors injury. It takes into account several factors. Wandell Robinson being in his starting lineup. Jackson Dart. So we got to talk about Jackson Dart, Jonah. Blanton's Bombers, part of the deal that he got with Adam, he got Wandell Robinson. Okay, Wandell Robinson is great if you have a guy that has really high passing volume as a quarterback. Jackson Dart is rushing the ball like 10 times a game. He's not passing it a lot. So Wandell Robinson is not like a super talented guy where he's just going to get a bunch of yak and he's going to take off and score a touchdown with the ball. He needs volume to succeed. So I like Patrick's running backs. Those are going to carry him, and Patrick Mahomes has been balling out. Patrick does not have a bad team, but and he has Lad McConkey, and he has tight ends. He has Goddard. He has Tucker Kraft. So he has players that can hold him over. It's just that wide receiver core, and Brees Hall's very up and down sometimes. So I have him in at number 11. Number 10, I have Lube and Lateral. So the reason I'm calling Zach's team Lube and Lateral now is because we actually completed a trade with one another, and I told him that until he stops ghosting me, he does not get the privilege of having his team name read. I still don't know what his team name means, and I don't want to know, but I will at least say it and give him that respect, just like the Redskins should have in Washington. So Lube and Lateral is number 10. I have him at number 10. because, Saquon Barkley hasn't looked the way that we wanted him to. He has Lamar Jackson injured.
Mhm.
His wide receivers are Devontae Adams. His top two are Devontae Adams and T. Higgins. T. Higgins has been a shell of his former self without Joe Burrow. And then he's rolling out two tight ends. He's rolling out the very much boomer bust Mark Henry. Or not Mark Henry. Why did I say that? Mark Andrews. Jonah, I think Mark Andrews might be the Jamison Williams of tight ends. He'll usually give you 0 points, but there's that one game he will give you 30. And then you have Travis Kelce, who he doesn't know if he wants to retire or or have a good game. He had a good game this week, but I see a lot of holes in Zach's roster. But he also has a lot of players that can hold him over. He doesn't have. I don't think really anyone has a terrible team. This is a deep league,
Mhm.
so he's at number 10. I got Josh at number 9.
I think Josh
is at
will be upset about that.
You think he would be?
He will be upset about that, yeah.
Well, here's the reason this is week 6 power rankings, Jonah. Week 6, Josh does not have his top 2 wide receivers playing.
No, he does not.
So you don't get a high power ranking number if 2 of the guys that you took with your first 2 picks in the draft are not playing.
Plus, Rashee Rice ain't back.
And Rashee Rice. So this is just week 6 power rankings, but Josh is in at number 9. He does have Josh Allen. He has Rico Suave. He has Cam Scadaboo. But Tyrone Tracy is coming back this week, who might eat into Cam's time a little bit. He has players that can hold him over, right? We'll get into the previews whenever he faces Garrett's team this week. But I just think number 9 is a suitable place. I would have Josh over me, over my team, because I'm going to talk about my team next. And I'll let you talk about my team because I don't like to talk about my own team. But I would have Josh over me if Nico and Jefferson were playing. And I would be at number 9. But I'm coming in at number 8. Personally, I think this is an accurate spot for me. My team has been up and down. I think my record is indicative of my current roster. I think I have a lot of potential, but potential doesn't mean production for sure. I like my team. I wouldn't, kind of like Josh, I wouldn't really trade my team for anybody's. I kind of have the pieces I want. They just have to show up. And
Yeah.
I believe in my team. I fully believe in my team. I don't think I have a bad team at all. It's just if I'm going to want to be a top team and squeak into the playoffs, I have to be more consistent. And I can't control what they're doing out there. But I can control the moves I make and stuff like that. But what do you think?
I think your team has a ton of upside. They're just not like putting out every week. I mean, you got Caleb Williams, who is not a bad quarterback. You got a rookie in Ashton Genty, an actual weapon in a Muka, however the hell you say his name. Sorry. You got Marvin Harrison, Travion Henderson. I mean, you got a good team.
Don't forget Rome Odunze.
Yeah, you got him now too. Yeah, like you forgot about that.
I think there's a couple question marks there. And Jaylen Warren's a nice stabilizing piece, but Jaylen Warren isn't going to give you 30. He's not going to pop off for 30. He's not going to pop off for 25. He's going to give you maybe 15 to 20 fantasy points a week if you're lucky. So I do think my team has potential as well. It's just they have to bring it together before I can make that tier jump. And
yeah, I agree with you for sure on that.
I'm not there yet. Number 7, we have the handcuff haters. So we have Kyle's team. Kyle's, first of all, he's probably my favorite person here. Such a great guy. He's fun to talk to.
Did you get to see his sermon?
So I haven't watched his sermon yet. No,
it was really good. Me and Jake went there live.
I bet it was, and that's a failure on my part. It's not for any person. I really want to listen to it. I actually don't keep Facebook downloaded on my phone, so if it's viewable via YouTube, I'm going to check it out. I might have to log into Facebook and re-download the app.
Yeah, it was really good.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I love Kyle. But he lost to Marion Hampton. He had to make that deal for Josh Jacobs. He had to give up. He gave up a lot, in my opinion. He gave up He gave up AJ Brown, which AJ Brown could always get it together, and he gave up Addison. And Addison's not like he's not Jefferson, but he's a good consistency piece. He's not a scrub. He gets in trouble a lot, but, so he might be suspended another time throughout the season. But yeah, I just think, and then Pearsall's injured too, Jonah. So I look at his team. He still has Puka. He still has Josh Jacobs, which I think Josh Jacobs is going to be really good rest of the season. And he also has Jake Ferguson. And Jake Ferguson's going to show out until CD comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Ferguson's numbers are going to come back. But the reason I don't have Kyle's team lower is because he also has George Kittle coming back soon. And he's the same record as me. He's 5-5. He has these stabilizing pieces that can hold him over and carry his team week to week. So, and Kyle has shown a lot more. He's shown a little bit more consistency than my team. So I have him above me. Um, this might shock some people. Number 6, we have the Jokers. I think Garrett's back, baby. I know there's, Derrick Henry, Brock Bowers. I listed them as my closeout candidates, but I really like what Garrett was able to do through his like 25 last trades this last week.
He had 5
Um,
trades this week. That's crazy.
that's crazy. Which I do think Garrett's feeling himself. You can tell just by messaging him whenever he's feeling up or down. And I think he's feeling up. He's gotten a little more cocky with it. I think he's happy about the deals he's been able to do. Which, just a reminder, Garrett, all deals don't end up working out in your favor. But I do like the deals you've been able to make. I think you're really deep. You have these little consistency pieces at wide receiver that you could flip into a bigger player. That's what I think is big about Garrett's team. He's 4-6, but he's a sneaky 4-6 because I think with Brock Bowers, Derrick Henry, and the wide receivers he has on his roster, he is in prime position. And Garrett's a great deal maker. He could definitely flip the script and make another big deal. So look out
Yeah.
for Garrett in the next week or two. I bet we see another big deal with Garrett. Number 5. What do you think about that, by the way?
Garrett's team. I mean, so
Well,
Garrett is
what do
only
you think about having him at number 6 in the power rankings?
Oh no, I definitely like that. I think Garrett's chances of making the playoffs is pretty good. I mean, he's only down 2 games right now in the UFL section, so I like Garrett's team. I wouldn't trade it for my team though.
You wouldn't what?
I wouldn't trade it for my team.
Well, of course not. None of us would. We all like our teams. That's why we play. Number 5, we have the Chinese buffet. So we have Cheney's team. I think, do you have it pulled up? He's 6-4, right?
Yes, he is 6. He's winning his division currently.
Well, this is what I like about Cheney's team. Cheney's team has been super consistent. I'm not looking forward to playing Cheney this week. He's projected to beat me. I think it'll be interesting to see how these last couple of deals work out for him. He traded away Jaden Daniels, which Jaden Daniels has been injured and hasn't been able to play him that much anyways. But he traded away Josh Jacobs. He now has AJ Brown. He has Michael Carter, the fill-in for the Cardinals. So Cheney's team looks different now. So I just want to see how his team performs. I have him in at number 5 because he's been so consistent, and he still has people. He still has Bijan Robinson. He has Amon-Ra freaking St. Brown. I'm not looking forward to going up against AJ Brown. I know we talked about AJ Brown and how he's like a glorified Jameson Williams, but I don't like seeing him on the opposing team. He could go crazy. So yeah, Cheney's team top 5 in power rankings I think is solid. Next, I have the Cougar catchers. I think this is accurate. You're 8-2. You have the best running back trio in the league. I almost said duo, but it's trio.
Yeah.
I like your team. I think you do have to make another move or two wide receiver wise, and I think you know that. I would probably package. I don't know if you should get rid of Garrett Wilson or not. I would do a package maybe of a running back and receiver to get maybe a world beater at wide receiver. Get a dog. Maybe with Josh's team. Who knows? Maybe you go get a Jefferson. I mean, you could definitely take a loss this week. You already talked about not playing your defense. Um, Maybe you and Josh are the best. I think you guys might be the best match for a trade.
I don't think I want any. I don't think I want Jefferson or Nico.
For
Honestly,
real?
I don't. Mm-mm.
What, not Jefferson?
No, not with his quarterback situation. He don't have a quarterback.
He's still putting up good numbers.
Yeah, but if he had a good quarterback, then we could
Carson
talk
Wentz is
something.
fine.
Yeah, but when JJ McCarthy comes back, maybe.
I don't think they're going to put JJ back in.
I think I like him more than Carson.
That's insane. Get out of here. No, that's insane.
You can't
JJ
hate on.
McCarthy JJ McCarthy had one good quarter out of 8 quarters. He is terrible. Listen, I bought the hype for a second because he had that crazy fourth quarter. If you go back and look at his film, Jonah, I'm not an expert by any means. I'm just a normal human being watching someone play football. He put so much effort to throw the ball. It looks like just to get the ball 30 yards down the field, it takes every ounce of effort to get it there. I think Carson Wentz is a better. He deals it. He spreads the ball out well. He feeds Jefferson. I think Carson Wentz is way better than JJ McCarthy right now. And maybe JJ develops a little bit, but I think JJ needs more time in development. And I don't think Kevin O'Connell jeopardizes the season just to develop JJ McCarthy. Um, so that's you. You're at number 4. I think you're a great team. You're a lock for the playoffs, in my opinion. And you have wiggle room to make deals in the future. Great squad, bro. I'm
Thank you, thank
thrilled.
you.
I'm
I
proud of
would
you, man.
I would put Chaney above me just for this week with TJ Hawkinson being out, but
Okay.
originally I wouldn't.
Humble move. I think it's hard. It's just hard for me to put Cheney's team above yours. If I see CMC Gibbs on the same team and Garrett Wilson, it's just hard to do that. It's hard to do that. I think that's just too much firepower. But no, Cheney has a great team. Um, we have the Honeybees. All right, Cole's team. Cole just continues to be just fine. He doesn't, and he participates. He sets his lineup. He apparently knows the future because every single lineup decision he makes just turns into gold. He knows who to sit. He knows who to start. I think he's from the future. I think that's actually my only explanation for Cole's team. I think he's actually from the future, and that's why he doesn't make any transactions because he already knows what's going to happen this season. So he already drafted the team that he knows is going to win, and he knows what players to put where. Does
It,
that not make Does that
it
not
makes
check
perfect
out?
sense. No, it makes perfect sense. I agree.
He's made 2 transactions this year, and you can even count one of them because one of them was just a drop.
Yeah.
Um, oh, I think he actually just made another one today. I didn't see it, but I saw his name. But yeah, Cole's team is at number 3. He's just been so consistent. He has guys like Tet McMillan who still are going to probably step up, and he's been able to hold the ship steady. He has Bill. He has Bill on his team. Bill just had a huge breakout game, and that's all with CD still sitting on the IR.
Oh yeah.
So once CD comes back, and he has not only
He is
that,
Bucky Irvin not playing.
he has Bucky Irving not playing. Thank you, Jonah. Yeah, Cole's team is crazy.
Yeah, no,
It's crazy.
Cole's got a good team. He's got CD and Bucky not in his lineup right now with that good of a
And
lineup.
Chris Olave, I mean, he's such a good consistency piece who's going to give you a solid floor. I mean, Cole has a great team. He's definitely
Yeah.
top 3. All right, number 2, we have the Mechie's Mulligans. I have them here just because that last trade that Adam made, I think it was brilliant. QJ did not have a good game. Quentin Johnson. It makes you wonder, was that the right move? Did he get rid of the right wide receiver? Lad McConkey, if Lad McConkey becomes that one again, and also if Joe Flacco's 40, 41 years old, if he's not able to stabilize the Bengals offense, it's a risky Jamar Chase business for Adam. But he has 2 great running backs, one great one really good one, and Jonathan Taylor and Kyron Williams. That's going to give him a solid floor each week. Dalton Kincaid, I think, is number 2 tight end in fantasy right now, which I wouldn't have guessed that coming into the season.
Mm-mm.
Um, because Josh Allen spreads the ball out so much, but for some reason he's really targeting Dalton Kincaid. I think Dalton Kincaid's the best pass catcher. I guess that's not too crazy to say. We know that in Buffalo. So we have Adam at number 2. What do you think about that?
I like Adam at number 2, but Joe Burrow's ceiling, it's high, but his floor is really low.
Who?
Joe Burrow. Or no, Jamar Chase. I don't know why I
I was
said
gonna
Joe.
say.
Yeah, no, Jamar Chase. I don't know how Joe Flacco's going to throw him the ball or not. If he does, then he does. If he
Do you
don't,
think Adam should trade Jamar Chase?
if he can get a lot of
Would
value for him, I would say so. But Adam's
trade
team is
Jamar
just so
Chase if you
solid
had him?
all around. There's no point of trading.
Would you if Jamar was on your team, would you try to trade him?
I mean, with my wide receiver predicament, absolutely.
Yeah. No. All right. Mechie's Mulligan's number 2, and the average culprit. We have our league commissioner, our group of operatives, the Mossad. The Mossad is an organization. They are not just one person. They are a network. Yeah, the Mossad has been crazy. I mean, he beat Zach without putting in defense, and he almost lost. But I think it's pretty clear cut that Jake's number 1 right now, right?
Do you have him winning the league as of right now?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you have to, and I hate to say that. I mean, because Jake's probably sitting down right now, maybe playing with his belly button. Maybe sniffing his finger after. We all do stuff like that when people aren't watching, but I think he's looking at that and giggling a little bit because I think this is exactly where he wanted to be at this point in the season, and he has so much wiggle room. He has so much depth. I really like the Kenneth Walker and DJ Moore deal he did. I think it's possible DJ Moore gets traded. And even if he doesn't, he's a nice flex option to have on your bench. Garrett spent like a 4th round or maybe even higher. I think it was a 4th round or 5th round pick on DJ Moore. So, and to have that kind of player on your bench as a depth piece, like I have freaking Isaiah Bond and Luther Burden on my bench to throw in if I have to. He has DJ Moore sitting there collecting cobwebs. So I think that just goes to show you. And I really like the Kenneth Walker ad considering he already had Charbonnet.
He's been trying to get him all year from me.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about Jake's team anymore. It is what it is. I think we're wasting time. They're the team to beat. So, but I think there is a point where you might want to. I don't know. He has people when CD comes back. Pickens is going to take a hit. Pickens might take a hit, but Dak has been playing so good. Maybe Pickens is just fine and has a great floor and still has those boom weeks. And it might benefit Pickens with CD being back because then people can't double team Pickens. Yeah, those are our power rankings. So brief recap. Number 1, the Mossad. Number 2, Mechie's Mulligans. Number 3, Honeybees. Number 4, Cougar Catchers. Number 5, Chinese Buffet. Number 6, Jokers. Number 7, Handcuff Haters. We have number 8, Little Spoon. Number 9, Rollbacks. Number 10, Lubin Lateral. Number 11, Blanton's Bombers. And number 12, Randy's Nuts. All right. We're almost done with this crazy experience that we started like almost 3 hours ago, man. I think, yeah, almost 2 hours ago.
Yeah, it was over 2 hours ago. We tried to do it. Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to go through each matchup briefly. I'm going to pull up the matchups real quick here on Sleeper, and we're going to go and project who's going to win, and we're also going to give an ice and fire pick. So if you can pull up the matchups on your end, Jonah.
Yeah, I've got them.
I'm going to give an ice and fire pick. I want you to give your own ice and fire pick as well.
Perfect.
And you're not picking an ice and fire pick from each team. You're just picking one ice, one fire from either team, even if it's on one team. All right. We have the Cougar Catchers, your team against Adam's team, Mitch Mulligans. Just looking at this matchup, all right, you're not going to like to hear this, but I have Adam's team winning this week. And it was a really hard decision. I really had to look at it closer. You have Jonathan Taylor against Arizona. You have Kyron Williams, who is my fire pick for this matchup against Baltimore, I think they're going to be ahead big time, and they're going to run the ball and run the clock out with Kyron. And I think Kyron's going to have 25 to 30 fantasy points this game. I know you don't want to hear that. I don't know if Jamar Chase, Joe Flacco is starting. He's going to Green Bay, and he's starting his first game with the Bengals. I don't know if Jamar Chase does well. The Packers coming off a bye week, I think are going to be refreshed. I think Micah Parsons is going to be a man possessed going after Flacco. And I don't know if Flacco has a good game, his first game back, and I don't know if Jamar Chase has a good game. So that's what made this such a hard decision. But Jonah, I'll tell you what made the decision for me because I genuinely thought it was a coin flip.
I think I know your answer.
Shoot.
Garrett Wilson going to Denver. Yeah.
Actually, no.
Wow.
That wasn't the coin flip because even though I think he's going to get locked down by Patrick Surtain, I think the biggest beneficiary will be Mason Taylor, the tight end, in that game. Garrett Wilson is my ice pick because of that reason. But that's not the reason I picked Adam's team. Sorry, it's getting late, y'all. It was Jalen Hurts against the Giants. I think they're going to smash against the Giants. It was just the quarterbacks. Literally, I looked at Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts. Other than that, I was like, this is a toss-up. But I think Justin Herbert, man, he hasn't been playing great for fantasy reasons. He had a great first week. He had 30 fantasy points. Last few weeks, 16, 18, which was decent, and then 13 and 15. That's not what you want from Justin Herbert. You want some rushing touchdowns. He is he even running the ball? He's not running the ball as much.
No.
The first 2 weeks, he had 7 attempts, then 9 attempts, so he had 16 combined attempts. And now he's the last 3 weeks, 2 rushes, 1 rush, 4 rush. He did have 60 yards this last week, but that's why I picked his team. In my ice and fire pick, ice, Garrett Wilson, fire, Kyron Williams. What do you think?
So my fire pick for this week is I got Keenan Allen going into Miami and doing some work.
Okay.
I know he's got Quinshon Johnson, but I got faith in Keenan Allen. My ice pick is Jamar Chase.
Did you just combine Quinshon Judkins and Quentin Johnston's name and create Quinshon Johnston? I love that. That's amazing. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I just don't think Jamar Chase, especially against Green Bay, like you said, I don't know if Joe Flacco is going to have time to get the ball out.
I will say I'm not confident in my pick for picking Adam's team. I think it's a really tough one to call, but I had to pick someone, and I thought Jalen Hurts was the tiebreaker. And I think they usually play well against the Giants. No, you got to stick to your guns. And who's your ice pick?
Jamar Chase.
Okay, Jamar Chase. Okay, no, that's solid. I can see that. All right.
And I've got me winning it, obviously. I can't pick against me.
I would try to start a defense though if it's going to be a close matchup. Just saying. Not everyone's as lucky as Jake. All right. Next matchup, we have. Let's have it pulled up. If I had it pulled up, maybe that'd be a good idea. All right. We have the handcuff haters. Kyle's team against Randy's nuts. All right. So I think this is going to shock some people. But with the injuries and the current revelations that Kyle's team is experiencing, Alvin Kamara's snaps are going down. We have Puka, who is a stud, but we have Jerry Jeudy, Jerry Moody, as his wide receiver too. Ricky Pearsall, who is not expected to play. Keon Coleman, who I'm pretty sure he was disciplined last game. I'm pretty sure he wasn't allowed to. Pretty sure he was disciplined, wasn't allowed to play for a certain amount of time. Then he came in and did really good. And then Sean McDermott said that Keon Coleman has a lot of room to mature and grow. So that doesn't sound good coming from who's supposed to be maybe the number one wide receiver in Buffalo. So the players going to carry Kyle's team in Ferg, Puka, and Jacobs, maybe Baker. But if I look at Randy's team, I see consistency. Debo's been balling out. Debo's like, these are his points: 22 week 1, 17 week 2, 4 week 3, but then 18 week 4, 23 week 5. And Terry McLaurin doesn't look like he's going to play this week. Devontae Smith against a not so good New York Giants secondary. DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf has performed well. He hasn't had one bad week. He's not getting great targets, but he's still performing well. Yards up. I have Randy winning this game.
That's crazy.
I have Randy pulling off the upset.
That's
I don't
crazy.
care. I don't care what Sleeper says. I don't care that Sleeper says 64%. I have Randy winning. And not my start of the week, my fire pick is Matthew Stafford. Were you able to see what CJ Stroud was able to do to the Baltimore Ravens defense?
I did see that, yeah.
4 touchdown passes. Okay, who's better? Who's a better passer? And who has better weapons? Matthew Stafford or CJ Stroud?
I mean,
There's only one answer.
Matthew Stafford's a better passer. I would say CJ's weapons are better.
No way. What? Matt Stafford has Devontae and Puka and Kyron? The Texans do not
CJ's
have
got
that.
Nico.
He has Nico, right. He has one guy. Stafford has a plethora of weapons. He has Tutu Atwell that he hit for an 88-yard touchdown the other week.
No, I would say as a group, Stafford has more, but as like player for player, I think that Nico and Puka, they're close, not gonna lie, but
Puka is way better. That's okay. This podcast is meant to disagree. We can spoon and still disagree. That's the beauty of it. I have Randy winning. I think it's a matter of time. He has to win one, and I want to be the guy that calls it. I want to be the guy who calls his shot. And if I'm right, I'm going to tell everybody next week. But yeah, I don't think it's that crazy. He's also starting Denver's defense, which I think is going to smash. But old Kyle has Green Bay's defense. So that's my guess. I said my fire pick, Matt Stafford. My ice pick for this, let me check. All right, this is a crazy shot. I'm here for the hot takes today. My ice pick is Puka Nacua.
oh,
This is why. This is why. I think the okay, if the Texans got up on the Ravens the way they did, I think the Rams are going to be so far up. So far up. I'm going to plug my phone in real quick. They're going to be so far up that they don't have to pass it, and it's going to be the Kyron show. And Puka isn't going to have that 20, 25 that you want him to have. He's going to have more like 15. But for Puka, that's an ice performance, right?
yeah.
So that's my call. What do you got for this?
So my fire pick, I'm going with Keon Coleman.
Oh my gosh. You kidding me?
Yeah. Especially at Atlanta. I think Josh Allen and Keon, they have a special connection, but it's not fully broken out yet. But
Okay.
my ice pick for this week is Baker Mayfield.
Oh, San Francisco.
Yeah.
Well, Matt Stafford just lit up San Francisco last week. And you think Baker's going to fall short?
I don't think Baker's going to fall short, but Baker's been putting up 20 consistently this year.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not? Let me go see his number. Yeah. 22, 17, 15, 17, 29. Baker's more of a 20 guy, but I don't think he's putting up 20 this week. I think he'd be more like a 14. What'd you say?
My AirPods are from can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. What about now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. My AirPods are from 2012, so they keep dying. So I have to keep alternating. Okay. So your ice pick is Baker Mayfield. All right.
My
We'll
ice pick
see.
is
We'll see who wins. We'll see. I have Randy. That's
I've got Kyle.
and it's mainly because of the injuries that Kyle has been experiencing. Okay, next matchup we have Lubin Lateral against the Honeybees. All right. Let's see who I have here. So I'm looking at this matchup. Dak Prescott. It's him and Baker Mayfield. They're debating this on First Take today with Stephen A. Smith and company. Dak and Baker Mayfield are kind of neck and neck for MVP voting at this moment. And Dak gets the Carolina defense. Carolina's been surprising people. They've been playing hard. So we'll see. But I'm gonna say it. I think Cole's gonna win this. I don't think Zach has a bad roster, but he has some people on bye. His Woody Marks on bye, which Woody only had 2 fantasy points and was in a committee last week.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if that makes a difference. Anyways, Christian Kirk, Christian Kirk hasn't been doing anything anyways. He has a lot of people on bye. You got J.K. Dobbins against the Jets, should smash. You have Devontae Adams against Baltimore, should play well. T. Higgins with Joe Burrow, or I'm sorry, Joe Flacco, different Joe, as long as it's not Joe Biden. Yeah, I just think Cole's team is too consistent. I think Sleeper has it right. I think Bill is coming out. Oh yeah, man, I think that's my fire pick. That's what I have written down. Bill Jacory Krosky Merritt is my fire pick. He's facing the poorest Chicago defense, who just let Ashton Genty break out. And I think Jacory Bill just had 30 fantasy points against the Chargers, who are not a bad defense. So what do you think he's going to do against the Chicago Bears? I think he's going to smash. You got James Cook. You got, Shaheed. He's like Jamison Williams, basically.
It's hard to bet against Cole's team.
He got lucky. Listen. Cole got lucky last week with putting Shaheed in there. Let's just call it. He got lucky. Tet McMillan against Dallas. Dallas has a terrible defense. I think Tet McMillan, this is your last chance to go trade for Tet McMillan, which Cole's not trading anyways. But Chris Olave, he's going to get his. Sam Laporta, prime time, Sunday night against KC. I just think it's too much for Zach to overcome this week. And I have him winning. My ice pick this week is Justin Fields against the Denver defense. I think the Denver defense is going to cause some fumbles. I think they might get an interception. I think Justin Fields has at least one fumble and one interception this game. What do you think about this matchup?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Justin Fields is also my ice pick.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to bet against Cole's team, honestly. But my fire pick is going to be Saquon Barkley.
Oh, no. I just poured it. Oh, man, I poured crap on my computer. Give me a second.
All right.
Guys, it is late, man. I'm not in the right mindset. Keep going.
Yeah, my fire pick is Saquon Barkley. I mean, they're playing the Giants. I think they're going to be up majority of the game, running the ball.
I like that.
But there again, Cole's got a bunch of dogs on his team, so I can't bet against him. I got Cole winning.
And you can't say that's a bold take. It's not like a hard pick to pick Saquon as your fire pick, but it kind of is because he hasn't played like Saquon yet. He hasn't had one of those huge games. So that is somewhat of a hot take there. All right, moving on. We both have Cole winning that. We have next. We have the rollbacks. Okay, we have I believe a best friend matchup, a besties matchup.
I would say this is the game of the week, probably.
Game of the week. We have the Jokers against the rollbacks, which, I mean, Sleeper has Josh slightly under favored. I hate Sleeper's projections, by the way. I think they're terrible. I really do. I think they're awful. Yeah, I know I gave Josh some objective. I mean, I'm coming from I don't have, like, my team is not great by any means yet, by the way. Because I have to have some confidence, right? But I have Josh winning this. I have Josh winning this, and it's not because I have Josh winning this game, even with Jefferson and Nico on bye. And that doesn't even include if Josh is able to make a deal from one of those guys this week and improve his team this week, which I think Josh does make some kind of move, if I had to guess. I think this is the week Josh finally says, you know what, I'm going for it. I have him winning because if you look at Garrett's team, Derrick Henry against the Rams, he's my ice pick. I think they're going to be playing from behind. Derrick Henry is a good play from ahead type runner. You have Chase Brown against Green Bay. I do think Chase Brown will be okay rest of the season, and I say okay, but not against Green Bay this week. You have to look at the matchups. BTJ should be okay. Diggs has been eating. Waddle, man, it must hurt you hearing half your guys on his roster.
Yeah, it's a team.
Yeah. Waddle against the Chargers. Who knows what will happen there. I just have Josh's team, and the decision maker was really Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen, he's bound. Okay, you have to look at prime time. Josh Allen is playing Monday night at Atlanta. I think Josh Allen has one of his signature performances. I do not want to see Josh Allen in prime time. I know last week was different. He didn't have a great game. He still had a solid performance, but I'm guessing Josh Allen has like 35 to 40 fantasy points this week, and that's what puts Josh over the top, especially with some of Garrett's guys having bad matchups. Garrett does have Jaden Daniels now, and I think Jaden Daniels also has his season best game at Chicago. I'm sorry, versus Chicago on Monday Night Football. So there's two Monday night games. There's Buffalo and Atlanta, and Chicago and
Washington.
Washington.
Yep.
Yep. So my ice pick is Derrick Henry. My fire pick for this matchup, let's see what I have, is Rico, baby. Rico revenge game against Dallas. Dallas let Rico go, and Dowdle's going to give it to them again. I think Dowdle has a great game. Dallas does not have a great defense, like we talked about. And I think Josh has just enough. And I also think Travis Hunter has seen his snap share go up this last game. And he had a little more involvement. And I think that might continue. I think the Jags realize they need another guy. And I think that helps Brian Thomas Jr. too. I think that helps take the heat off him if Travis Hunter becomes more involved. So I got Josh winning this, baby. And yeah. What about you?
So first things first, it's crazy when you're saying Josh Allen has a bad game and he's putting up just shy of 20 fantasy points. That's how you know he's just a dog. Josh,
Exactly.
yeah. Anyways, my ice pick this week, I think if Trey McBride can go into Tennessee and only put up 11, I think Indy's going to shut him down. So I got Trey McBride as my ice pick.
Oh, dang.
This week.
Okay.
But I think that the Miami Dolphins will be passing the ball a lot Sunday because they will be losing to the Chargers. So I have Jalen Waddle as my fire pick in this game. And I do have Garrett winning this one.
Okay. All right. We
bumping
will see.
Josh to 3-9.
Okay. So you think Josh still makes the
I think Josh gets
the
median.
median. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. I like that we have opposing viewpoints. That makes it more interesting. Okay.
We got a lot of these games.
What's that?
So we have opposing viewpoints on a lot of these games.
We've had some agreements, but yeah, I like it though. I like the diversity. All right, now we have second to last matchup. I'm getting tired, man. I don't know about
Me too.
you.
I'm
getting
exhausted.
tired. I'm starting to fumble and Joe Biden my words. We got the Mossad versus Blanton's Bombers. It's hard to pick anyone but Jake. Jake has an easy schedule right now. I mean, he's not picking. If we started the playoffs today, he had a tough schedule to start the year, but he faced Zach last week. Week before that, he faced Kyle, which was a tough matchup. But these last couple weeks have been a little bit of an easier schedule for Jake. I have Jake winning again this week. We have him against Patrick's team. Sleeper has it projected pretty high. My fire pick for this matchup is Lad McConkey. It's Lad McConkey, and I like to pick players that you wouldn't really think. I think it's Lad McConkey because they just lost to Marion Hampton. That O-line is going out. I mentioned this earlier. I think they get the ball out quick, and I think Lad is the beneficiary there. I know you don't want to hear that because you want Keenan. I think there's a world Lad and Keenan could have a good game. Let's just both have a mutual understanding. We want Lad and Keenan to eat, but maybe we want Quentin Johnson or Quinshawn Johnson in your pronunciation to maybe fall off a little bit here. But yeah, I have Jake's team winning, and I think my ice pick is Pickens, and the reason for that is they're facing Carolina. They have J.C. Horn as a cornerback there. He'll probably be shadowing Pickens. They have a decent pass D, and you don't have a CD Lamb for people to play off of. I think Jake Ferguson is the beneficiary there, and I think Pickens has a modest game, maybe like 10 fantasy points. And he just had like 30, so I think. No, he had like 13 this week. He had 30 to 36 the week before. But
yeah.
So yeah, those are my picks. What about you?
My fire pick for this week is sadly going to be Lad as well.
Nice.
I think Lad's got to step up eventually, so I think it's coming. But my ice pick is actually going to be JSN. JSN has been playing
Ooh,
lights out majority of the year,
that's
but
a crazy call.
he put up 30 points last game, for an example. But he's
Yep.
going to Jacksonville, and as a Jags fan, I mean, I just don't see him doing much there.
It sounds like you have some fan bias there.
Maybe just a little bit.
I think for the most part, JSN is matchup proof. I think not in all circumstances, but they've Seattle has enough. They don't have great weapons, but they have
Mhm.
enough. They have Kenneth Walker.
Sure
They do
do.
have Cooper Cup, who you have to account for. You have Torrey Horton now that he's been scoring like a touchdown like every game or every other game. Um, you have to account for those guys. So it's not like you can just like crazy shadow JSN. And JSN can be a short route runner guy. He can be midfield. He can go deep. He can do it all. So we'll see though. I mean, you're calling your shot. So
Yeah, but I do have Jake winning pretty badly.
yeah, I do too. I do too. And not to knock Patrick's team. It's just I think his running backs are going to smash. I think Brees Hall is going to have a good game. I think Brees Hall. Let's see. Is he? Yeah, he almost was my fire pick against Denver's defense because they're going to need him. Um, but and then Javonte Williams against Carolina should be good. Patrick Mahomes against Detroit. But then you have Wan'Dale Robinson and Terry McLaurin. He didn't practice today, so it doesn't look like he's going to have that next dog there. He does have Tucker Kraft and Goddard. I just don't think it's enough to overcome Jake's crazy team.
Yeah, no,
Um,
Jake's team is just absolutely wild.
Jake's team is like the 2010 Miami Heat. It's like the super team. Got Chris Bosh, D Wade, LeBron. Um, LeBron would be JSN. Who would Dwayne Wade be on his team?
HN?
HN maybe, and then let's see, Chris Bosh. Oh man,
Probably Tyler Warren.
no, I'd say Pickens just because he's tall. I don't know. All right, yeah, we're getting tired. Let's last matchup here. My team got the little spoon that could against the Chinese buffet that we still don't know why he has that name. Yeah, I'll let you take it from here.
This is going to be a pretty good game this week, but I mean, both teams decent quarterbacks. I mean, they both have one really good running back, and then after that, it kind of just. I mean, they're good running backs; they just fall off. Both wide receiver rooms look outstanding. Actually, I wish I had one of those.
We can talk. We can talk.
We can talk after this. I'm going to sleep. Actually, you got the tight ends pretty good. My fire pick for this week is actually Ashton Genty against the Titans.
Okay.
So that was pretty easily. And then B. John Robinson is going to be my ice pick,
Whoa,
especially against Buffalo.
man. I hope you're right. I didn't have Bijan as my ice pick. I would never put Bijan as my ice pick.
And I do have you
But
winning.
you have me win. Okay.
I do have you winning, yes.
Well, I hope you're right, but
I
all
just don't
right.
see B. John going off a 29-point game, having a bye week, and then doing it again.
All right, we're gonna disagree again. I hope I win. Don't get me wrong, man. I don't want to lose. This is the week I was looking for. I made the trade last week, and I have to say this. I traded Devonte Adams and Woody Marks a week that Woody Marks just blew up, and I traded them for a player on their bye week, Rome Odunze. And it turns out I actually scored more points last week against Randy than I would have if I didn't make the trade. So it still benefited me last week, and I'm hoping it benefits me this week now that I have Rome Odunze because I stack him with Caleb Williams on Monday night. I don't know. It's really a swing, man. I'm just trying to swing for the fences. I think Rome Odunze is that breakout guy this year, and I like to have that stack. In the league I commission, it's still a competitive league. I wouldn't say it's as competitive as this, but it's still a hard league to win in. And last year I drafted Jamar Chase, number 10 in the first round, and I was able to scoop up Joe Burrow in the fifth round. I ended up going on to win the championship in my
Oh,
league
wow.
last year, and it was really really nice those weeks to have that stack of Joe and Jamar because if they had a good week, I just demoralized my opponent. Um, and this is basically like you ever see like you know how Walmart has their own brand of like
Yeah, great value.
products. I mean, Josh would know this, but um, Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze is like the great value version of Joe and Jamar. So that's what I'm trying to recreate here. And great value is still good. It's just not great.
It's not. It's not as good.
No, it's not. Um, so that's what I'm aiming for here. I hope Egbuka still. I call him Bazooka Egbuka, um, and I hope Marvin Harrison holds up there. And I hope Mason Taylor is what I think he might be. So uh, I have Chinese Buffet winning this game just because he's been too consistent. He has Bijan. I'm scared to see AJ Brown against me. Amon Ra is going to get his. I see Jake saying something stupid in the chat. Okay, he's using slurs at your team.
Okay, I don't even
All
want to
right.
talk.
Okay, we'll look at that later. I have Cheney's team winning. My ice pick is Michael Carter, which I know you're like, well, oh yeah, great pick, Nick. I mean, you pick a guy who he just picked up on the waivers. What a good call. But my reason it's Michael Carter is because Michael Carter actually had a good game last week. He had 18 fantasy points. But he's going against Indianapolis, and I think Indianapolis might get up decently quick on Arizona, and I think they're going to have to pass the ball. So that's just my blanket statement there. Not much analysis there. It's just looking at the game in the game script. I think Michael Carter might have not as great of a week. He might have like 10 fantasy points. But then my fire pick is AJ Brown. My fire pick is AJ Brown
Is it because he's
because
playing you?
because he's playing me. Listen, this is crazy. Currently, Jonah, I have 3 players on my team that I drafted, traded away, and then traded back for. 3. Cheney just entered that club. He traded away AJ Brown to get Amon-Ra St. Brown from me, and now he has AJ Brown again. Like, he has to feel somewhat smooth for being able to pull that off. I just think Thursday night against New York, I don't think has a good secondary. And he's playing me. And I had AJ Brown at one point. I'm glad I got him off my roster, but that's probably why he's going to show up. And it's scary that if he blows up on Thursday night, that puts me in a really bad spot to really dwell within myself and be depressed for a few days until Sunday, until I can put up some kind of points. So,
or until your duo plays Monday.
What's that?
I said, or until your duo plays Monday.
Exactly. So Cheney just traded Jaden Daniels. It was looking like Cheney and I were going to have a fun matchup where it'd be Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels against each other in our matchup. But then he went and traded Jaden Daniels. And Daniel Jones is a solid option. I definitely don't discount him, but I just hope I make the median this week because I do think Cheney pulls out the win. I do have Kyle Monangai, and I think Kyle Monangai, coming off a bye, he's going to get more involvement. If you want to make a deal, now's the time, because if he starts to take that job, the price is going to go up. So just saying there. All right. Well, this concludes a very long process. It says an hour and 43 minutes, but I assure you, Jonah and I have been here much longer. And Jonah, man, I really appreciate you jumping in here and hanging through all the obstacles. I appreciate you spooning with me. It feels really good.
Yes, sir.
All
And
right.
hey, I got to do something for Jake real quick. We need a sponsor and sponsor the video.
Okay.
We got Bud Light beer sponsor from Jake. So
Bud Light. Okay.
make sure y'all try it out.
Isn't that the liberal beer that they put a transgender person on?
Yeah, it represents his team. So
do not bring. Oh, you're like, okay, you're trolling him.
kind of, yeah.
I hope so, because if that was serious, you're not allowed back on. We don't have that kind of stuff here. All right. Well, thanks for spooning with me. Thanks for spooning. Okay, it wasn't just Jonah spooning with us. It was all of you at home that was spooning with us. So have a great week and spoon you later.
Yes.
Can you hit the